How we doing tonight, folks?
Boo, you suck.
Anyway, this next one we're gonna look at. DF stands for Dream Factory, not Digital Foundry, if you were wondering. But this next one we're gonna look at, this is quite the wild and crazy concept. It's 3 games at once, you see. It's Tekken, it's Pokemon, and it's a dungeon crawling RPG. Just perfect. Just so utterly delightful for little autistic gremlins like us. All of my favorite things all at once. I have to tell Reddit about this. So yeah, there are many different modes that do different things. We're starting with the RPG mode because I want to unlock some characters for the fighting game part of this. You notice how the king is a texture, but we're not a texture, we're just a guy. The resolution is high enough that we can notice things that would not have been noticeable on a CRT. We've got some kind of eye of wisdom, you see. We can see things that people of the past could not. So, first off, this doesn't control very well. We'll do our best, though. You see, the controls in this are too elaborate is the issue. There are only so many buttons on the PS1 controller, so oftentimes there are extra functions that are locked behind pressing 2 buttons at the same time. It's all very difficult to acclimate to. There's a hidden item back here I want to get to. Yes, I've done this before, you see. I'm a seasoned Tobal 2 guy. I know about the secret item. So yeah, even navigating the menus can be a bit frustrating at times. Because this was a Japan-only game, and as any good gamer will know, in Japan, the PS1 buttons are swapped so that X is to go back and circle is to select things. So your muscle memory is completely useless and you have to relearn everything. You're like some kind of veteran who suffered a traumatic brain injury and you have to relearn how to chew food. Yeah, Tobal 2's like that basically. Okay, we got lucky on our first go. We got the purple crystal. You see, each crystal does a different thing, you see. And the purple ones are for the monster capture. This is how we unlock characters for the fighting game portion. Just like in the Pokemans, you gotta get your guy down to low health and then throw the purple crystal at him. And that's how you unlock him. But I did the wrong input the first time. I just gently set the crystal down rather than throwing it. You would not believe how hard it is to acclimate to this control scheme. Die, he says. Fuck, he's too short for all of my punches. The bullets are just going through the holes. And just like in Pokemon, sometimes you'll be too hard on the guy and you'll erase all of his HP before you can actually try to capture him. And also you can miss with the crystal. Heavens to Betsy. Oh, get the cheese, you fucking wagey. You see, the food items, they restore your stamina, and then the stamina gets you your health back. Simple as.
Love me big wheels of cheese. Love me yellow stamina meter. Love me taking a nap in the middle of the dungeon. Ate the blue jelly. Simple as.
Okay, we did it. We pulled it off successfully at least once. So now we can play as the blue jelly in the tournament mode later. Yes, I think of that particular audio clip every time I read the words blue jelly. Every single time. We can go to the second floor of the dungeon, but I want to get some EXP first. We want to be strong like bull. Yeah, 'cause each floor, as you might have presumed, is harder than the one before it, so we don't want to skip out on valuable EXP. The leveling up system is also weird in this, that it's not like an attack stat and a defense stat, but rather each of your limbs has like its own measure of strength. You might have noticed that when I pulled up the menu. So Akira Toriyama was like the main artist for this game, by the way. He's quite the Renaissance man. He would do video games and manga and anime and probably a bunch of other shit too. He probably had like a rap album or something. So with the items, sometimes they'll trick you, by the way. Sometimes the items are bad, even though they don't look any different than the good items. And you won't know until you actually equip them. We got lucky that time with that yellow crystal, but next time, perhaps maybe, we may not be so lucky. Very RNG. Comparable to any other dungeon game, I guess. It's the only way to give it replay value is to give it lots of randomness.
Do you ever get tired of being random? Me neither.
So yeah, the overall concept of this game is just so completely cuckoo bananas. Just from a high-level overview that you still might not have wrapped your head around it. Just the idea that every single enemy in this game can be a playable character in the fighting game. For a time, this game had the world record for the most characters in a fighting game. Son of a bitch, he threw it back. Anyway, it might still have that record as well. There are over 200 characters in this game. Unbelievable. It's a shame we never got this one in the land of the free, honestly. We got Tobal number 1, but not Tobal number 2. Everybody only bought Tobal number 1 because it had a demo disc for Final Fantasy VII in it back in the day. That gave it a big boost in sales, you see. Every time I end a sentence with "you see," I'm not actually parodying Bill Cosby, but rather I'm parodying Family Guy Bill Cosby. That's like a tick of whatever voice actor they got to voice him. Okay, enemies are far, far stronger here than they were before. Heavens to Betsy, the capturing is so completely just kludgy, I guess you could say. You have to balance between not getting your ass kicked by the enemy, but then also being able to position yourself in a way that you can cap them, and then they can also throw it back sometimes. It's like, how is anybody supposed to play this? So, if I'm not totally full of crap, I do believe this was the first fighting game that Square ever made. And if you were to play it yourself for 2 minutes, you would definitely agree that this handles like a fighting game that's made by a company that's never made a fighting game before. Clunky as all get up. Sweep the leg. Looking back at my own gameplay, and I could have got him there if I had swept the leg while he was down. And now it's too late. So, the red crystals, in my experience, it seems like statistically speaking, they usually end up being bad more often than they're good. Again, it's totally randomized, but I guess it's just superstition of me to avoid the red crystals for that reason, you see. I was just thinking a minute ago I said this was the first fighting game that Square ever made, but then I realized, oh wait, no it's not. Stupid, a fucking idiot. No, the first fighting game Square ever made is Tobal number 1. Duh. Jesus Christ, fucking throw me in a river. How do I even function when I'm this dumb? Okay, we've got unblockable attacks now, but we don't seem to have a good opportunity to use them. I feel like you could make a meme out of that victory pose of the frog triumphantly holding his arms up in the air. Make it an offshoot of Dat Boy. So here's our new character, by the way. I keep hyping this up, and now we get to actually see it. We'll actually try him out next episode, of course.